So before we continue, this would be a good time to look at the script instancing. So what I'm going to do is just create a new schema in my project, call it test instance. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag over the customers script. So with QVScriptor you can create multiple projects, as many as you want, under the folder structures that you define, and you can reuse script across multiple projects. In this case I'm using a script object from one project in another schema, a data schema, and what I want to show is the difference between delete and remove in the schema. So here I have my customers table in my original schema. So I have it also here in my test schema. So what I can do is from here remove the table from my schema, and if I go to my test instance I can see customers is still there. So that has not changed the other schema or data schemas where that script is being used. So what I'm going to do is drag the script back in. So now I have customers again within my test instances, and you can see here customers within my total schema. But what I'm going to do now is to delete the script object. It will give me the warning, so this will permanently delete the script from all other schemas and applications, and that is very important. So it's very seldom, especially in a concurrent developer environment, that you should use this option, because if I delete now, it will delete customers from both my schemas. So that's very important to roll your head around, basically. So what I'll do is just to bring customers in again and replace it within the schema, and now we can continue with the tutorial. So we're on page 25 of the tutorial right now, and what we can do is use the edit main load option to create a calculated dimension, which we'll do in the order details table. When you right click an object is a script that has already been written for you by QVScriptor. You can see you have a couple of other options here. So ones we haven't used yet is the edit script, edit main load, create a ClickView app, and these we will go through. But at the moment the edit main load takes you to the load that you are actually getting from your source. So the edit main load, here you can see it's my source, the Northwind database where the script is coming from. I can see the edit SQL script that has been loaded from the database, and if I go into the SQL editor I can see my data. So I can see all my fields that are defined on the script object. I can see here actually some details around the actual data within those fields that are in the database. So you can always review what fields or what data you have in those fields when you are doing the scripting. So we'll cancel out of here, we'll go to next, and when we come to the resulting tables view, then what we want to do is to create a calculated dimension using an expression wizard for net sales within the order details script object. So what we're going to do is to create another field that we want to create. When I click on it, I can see that there pops up the little button which I can then click, and this will open up my expressor. So QVScriptor provides a comprehensive expression editor which is centralized to all the script and projects, etc., that you have in the application. So if you have multiple scripts, it will actually break your scripts up into your different projects, so you can see exactly the scripts that you have in your various projects as well. It has a full ClickView functions wizard, so basically it's supporting all the ClickView functions that you can possibly use to transform any data, and then of course all the operators that you can use within the ClickView environment is also represented. So what we're going to do is create that calculated dimension for net sales, which is quantity times unit price. So we're going to take the quantity times, you can also just type in unit price, and then we want to show it as a discount, so times bracket 1 minus discount, or you can just 1 minus discount and close your bracket. So now we have created a calculation within QVScriptor using the wizard. And what we can do now is test it in ClickView. So when you hit the test and ClickView button, we'll just ask Scriptor to show us the script. So when I hit the OK, the script will open, and from here I can see the script. I can reload that script, so it's loaded all the data behind that script from my database, so everything's okay. I won't create anything now, we'll just close it down, and it will close ClickView down again. So now we've created an expression for our net sales. And what I can do is click OK. And what I can do is give it a name. So I want to give the field name an alias, so net sales. Everything should be fine now, so what we can do is go next in the wizard. It will show me my resulting script. So this is the actual script that was already generated into ClickView that we saw before. Next and finish. And what you can see now is that that net sales has actually been created as a field, calculated dimension in a field within your order details script object. So next we'll move on to creating library script objects. We'll use the inline, resident and ETL functions. So when you go to library, you can see here is all the ClickView custom library objects that you can create within a data schema. And we'll start off with creating an inline object. From here, what we want to do is to create the title of courtesy. So we'll just call it titles. And you have the space from Excel option. So what I've done is I've created an Excel sheet where I have my title of courtesy and courtesy. And I just want to say that these are your headers. So this is what the field basically will be called, is your title of courtesy. And as I mentioned before, the capital T, capital O, capital C is the way that the associated field is written. So it will automatically associate the field if I use this now. So I'll copy those out, and what I'll do is paste from Excel. You can see your title of courtesy, your header and your courtesy, and then Mr. etc. over here. So we'll go next. You can see your script that has been generated for this. Next and finish. And you will see that it automatically created the association for me, because the capitals and small characters are exactly the same as it was in employees. If you did not do that, just take a connector and connect it from title of courtesy to title of courtesy. So what we've done is we've created a user created table within our data schema. So if you have your own data that you want to include into a data schema, then this is a good way of doing it. So the next script object we're going to use is a resident load. Resident loads uses data from an existing data script object on your schema to create another data script object. So in this example, we're going to be counting the distinct number of orders. So what a database would do is, if you order 5 products within one order, it would generally write 5 lines for you. So what we're going to say to the database is that we want the distinct number of orders. So we don't want it to count them as 5. We want it to count it as one order. So let's start. Let's take the resident load, and the resident load wizard will pop up. And let's give it a name. resident NB order, copy the name, paste it in the instruction title and table, and from here select orders and then click next. So it will show you all the fields in your order script object. So what we're going to do is we want to add another expression to the order script object, and again we'll pick up the expression editor, and this time I'm just going to paste that expression in there. So what we are going to do is to count the distinct number of order IDs in the database rows. So I can go OK from here. I've created my expression. I'll give it a name, NB orders, and in this resident load I don't want all the other fields to pull through, so I'm just going to untick all of those as outputs except the customer ID. So we already have a connector between customer ID and the orders table, and that's why we're using customer ID to group the expression by. So what we're going to do is tell it to group by, and the reason we do that is that ClickView always requires a group by function when using aggregation functions. So when you are using count, sum, max, min, you have to group it by another field, and we'll tell it to give us an order as ascending, and we're ready to go. It will show us our script. Next, finish. We'll open ClickView to compile the script, and now you can see we have the resident load, and it is by customer ID.